as the presidential candidate of the SDP, and God willing you win, give us specific plan to crash the dollar to the naira rate within your first 100 days.
Okay, first and foremost, why are you interested in crashing dollar to naira? What's your business with that?
The purchasing power is very low.
Purchasing power is not because of dollar. The purchasing power is because of inflation. What's your business with currency of another country? You grew up in this country. Where did you start showing interest in currency? Before, you were not showing interest. The first time you heard anything about currency was SAP. When they said naira is 4 naira to the dollar. But before, the dollar was 65 kobo, 80 kobo. Nobody cared. So what you need to know, and in our government, is that we will make sure that you have sustainability. In my government, the worst inflation you should get is 6%. By that, I'm already getting worried. Second, your cost of living for a family with a single income earner, your cost of living must be within the income of that one person. If you have a family whose entire income, a family head, a father or a mother or grandmother or uncle, guardian, whoever, if you have a head of family whose total gross income cannot pay the bill of his family, basic bills, the government should resign. Because there is no other government in the world where you will say, here is Mr. Ezekiel. He works in the post office. And he has a wife and 4 or 5 children. But the food the wife and children are eating within a week is more than the entire salary of this man. And they will still pay rent. And the children will still pay school fees. He's no longer the head of his family.
Against this model you propose now, that means we should be calling for the resignation of the government, because virtually the average Nigerian, the family heads can't meet up any longer.
Then there's no government. That's why they are not a government. That's why I say that President Tinubu refused to form a government. The mandate he collected from INEC is being used to pursue his own business, such that when you listen to them give account, they have forgotten their primary duty. And even if the driver that drives him cannot feed his own family on his income, the ADC, that fine officer standing at the back of the president, he say, "Colonel, I challenge him to come and show me how he's living on the salary of a colonel." The person who types letter on behalf of the president is not living on his salary. So from inside the villa is falsehood, is fraud, is lies. So not talk of people who work in the central bank, down the line to now a school teacher, to now that traffic warden, ubiquitous traffic warden, who stands on the road in the heat, inhaling carbon monoxide and all of that, and passing traffic. Go, you are a journalist. Why are you interviewing me? Go and interview him. Ask him. Mr. Traffic Warden, I want to talk to you after work. When he leaves, what is your role? You say, I'm an inspector, or I'm a sergeant, or I'm a corporal. How much is your salary? Where do you live? Can you do the arithmetic? He cannot survive. So why is he coming every day? It shows to you that he has his friends who are waiting for you to commit traffic offense. They go and jam you one corner and jack you up and you collect money and things like that. Go to the nearest DPO in the police station next to you. Ask the DPO, can you survive on your salary? It's a test. Because in our government, you will answer that test.
As Commander-in-Chief, what plans will you take to ensure that Nigerians are safe?
Very simple. I will live to my oath of office. I will not collaborate with criminals, kidnappers, terrorists. I will not house terrorists in the villa that President Tinubu is doing. Go and find out. The headquarter of Boko Haram is the headquarter of the presidency itself. And if the president wants to end Boko Haram anytime, he just needs to switch off the button and that's it. So, and they know what they are doing, why they keep it. And if you see it, it reflects in the budget, it reflects in how they do their politics, it reflects in everything. So I want Nigerians to know and stop the imagination that anywhere there is government, kidnapping, criminality cannot sustain. It's not possible. The only reason why Boko Haram is bigger now than under Buhari, bigger under Buhari than under Jonathan, bigger than Jonathan under Yaradua is that the government tolerates it. They know what to do, they won't do it. And it's reflecting even in the career patterns of the military officers, how they behave, what happens. So while the older classes, sets of military officers retired, and a colonel will be earning 600,000 about now. 600,000 naira is what a senior colonel will earn, 600,000 about as pension. The ones who are there now, many of them are collecting their own pension in billions before they even retire. So they're controlling a lot of money. So the Boko Haram thing is an economic program of welfare for people in government. There are real manifestations of insecurity, like you kidnap a child or children, you go and shoot community people, one chance on the street. But all of that is not beyond the power of police to handle. What is happening is that just like government managed darkness over the years, it's not as if electricity is difficult to get. Just that government is watching when cement. There's no war. You know, in Ukraine, in Russia, they are throwing bombs into cement factories and all that. In Nigeria, there was a time we had no cement factory. Apart from Nkalagu, we had the one at Bøkø, Headquarter, few. But you could buy cement when you earn your salary as anybody in government, anybody in employment. You can buy a trailer load of cement, no matter what your salary was. You may not be able to buy other things, but if you buy. So what is my age now? But I started buying cement, 400 naira. Government is watching till cement became 14,000, 12,000. Is that Boko Haram too? Is that hard to do? So we started GSM to the point now where you can make WhatsApp call, where GSM is dropping. Why? Because people in NCC decide to be on the side of the service provider, so they will not maintain their cell site, the ratio that they are supposed to maintain for the handshake. So they will not turn them on, so they save money, they give some money to the people who are the regulators. What I'm letting you know is that a government that allows a dead body by the roadside, that dead body is not toxic, is not carrying bomb. It's just that maybe there's a collision or a car runs somebody down. The government that cannot come and pick that dead body on the street and go and bury it, is leaving it to decay there. It should show you that that government is going to fight Boko Haram. A government in the capital city of Abuja that allows children to walk up to you and be using their hand to wipe your windscreen and beg for money. And the government is seeing them. And there's a minister of FCT who will demolish your house if you look at him in a very funny way. But there's a presidency that if you are talking anything, they're going to respond to you. But there's a first lady that is hawking kulikuli and akara into the lexicon of business. But they don't know how to go around the street and pick all these kids and put them in the nearest school. So these are things you can see that they can do. You don't need to hire mercenary to do that. They are very simple things to do. And they're not outside the budget, they're not big items. If they neglect to do it, they're not telling you that they are going to go and fight Boko Haram. They're not doing any fight with Boko Haram. They're using Boko Haram for three things. First, they're using as a boogeyman to frighten you, so the country is not secure and all of that. Two, to steal all your money. Because they will say, I'm chasing Sheikh. How many times did they kill Sheikh Ao? The most expensive killing in dying history is Sheikh Ao. So, Sheikh Ao dies today, Sheikh Ao dies tomorrow. When Sheikh Ao, they're tired of Sheikh Ao dying, and they went and look for Lakurawa or something else to talk about. So, the thirdly is they are using for the politics of it. So, now that's how I'm letting you know. So, is it the Boko Haram so complicated? The Nigerian armed forces don't have dedicated communication line with all the people in Signal. How would a military man talking to another military man, you want to be using GSM in a war theater? Where is it done? And Nigeria is licensing Starlink to have drop down of their satellite communication in Nigeria. And so-called Boko Haram and terrorists are using the Starlink, importing it to Nigeria, carrying cartons into the bushes. And they are communicating. So you will see investigation of the death of a general. You will see that the general is missing action, MIA. Maybe he didn't read his map well. Maybe somebody deceived him to a location and they withdrew from him. I don't know, whatever it was. Now, this general cannot contact his headquarters. That's a general. I'm not talking of a corporal. A general who is the headquarter himself, mobile headquarter, could not connect to his headquarter. Then he cannot connect to his own chain of command downwards. So that is chain of command upwards. Headquarters, he cannot reach them. Then chain of command downwards. His own adjutant, other people are below him, all of those who reported to him, he cannot reach them. Then they want to rescue him. The rescue team cannot reach him. So his phone is dying and he's calling and now to the point where the people who want to kill him, the enemy, are able to locate him and they are communicating to one another to say he's there, go and meet him there. And they are communicating among them. So don't let me get angry here. So don't talk to me again if you interview me about Boko Haram. Boko Haram, Tinubu, they are the same thing. If one goes, the other goes. I can tell you that for sure. When President Buhari was coming in 2014, 2015, I know one interview. I think it was one of the foreign media asking him, what are you going to do about Boko Haram? He was very annoyed. What is Boko Haram? Who are they? I get rid of them 6 months. What's Boko Haram? I was angry. Why would you even ask me about Boko Haram?
All right, let's wrap up this way. Are we expecting the opposition to form a coalition ahead of the 2027 elections, given the fact that 2023, the oppositions, they were in different camps, and that affected their performance? If they also to go separate ways again, can they truly defeat President Tinubu?
Yeah, defeating Tinubu is not a problem. Tinubu has defeated himself. What we are thinking is being able to have a platform that will defeat poverty and insecurity and bad governance. And if you don't have that coalition around that idea, joining together to go and defeat Tinubu is nothing. Before Tinubu, there were problems. Tinubu became additional problems. And after him, there will be problems, even bigger problems, if the character and nature of the government that is coming next. Nigerians who are, it's not an improvement. Nigerians who are criticizing Tinubu now and say this is the worst, I pray to God that they won't be apologizing to Tinubu later. So say, in Tinubu's time at least, it's not this bad. So
apologizing to Buhari now.
Exactly. So the way to stop it is to do two things. One, let Nigerian people unite around how to say farewell to poverty and insecurity and bad governance and non-accountability. Let your interest, when you wake up in the morning, watching the news, reading papers, talking, going to church, going to the mosque, going to the market, let how Nigeria will put an end to poverty and insecurity and bad governance be your priority. If all Nigerians have that, then they will be looking for a political party or candidates who they think will do this for them. then it's around that you now build a coalition. Right now, it's management of individual ambitions. And politicians are calculating who is more likely to win if I align myself. And that is not a direct answer to the problem of governance. What brought Tinubu to power was that there were calculations. They calculated his war chest, a lot of money he has, this and that. They calculated, okay, he's more likely to win. Let me be on his side. And if you use that same formula now to say, oh, who can we rally around? That's not it. You have to say, we are going to change the government for sure. President Tinubu himself will not be surprised when they are reading the news and he has lost. He won't be shocked. He will be shocked if he wins. So these people are so hopeless like this. Despite me having dealt with them, so they are still just easily defeated like this. So he's being defeated, he's losing, it's not a problem for him. But the key issue is to have a platform that can guarantee that after we have changed the government, people will not come on set like me now and start lamenting about the problem of that new government. And that was what kept us from joining any coalition, because that question has not been answered.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure always having you around.
Thank you, and may God bless Nigeria.
Amen.